That's
I'm so happy that you actually joined on time because the past two people are like, oh, I forgot. So that's why I messaged you like, please tell me you're gonna.
no, I'm prompt, you know what I mean? I'm always on time when it comes to meetings and whatnot. I do this shit all day in my,
Thank
my
you.
other job. So whatever, I know how to be
That's
on time with the meetings.
right. That's why I was just thinking, like, at least tell me because two other people were like, can we schedule it another time? And I could have done them, but the other two didn't show up. And I'm like, now I gotta try to do this again another day next week. So that just pissed me off.
Yeah, it's like that, It's how it is when you're working with artists.
That's
Motherfuckers move on their own time. For
that's
real, they move on their own time.
why I was like, damn, I gotta realize again, this is artists again. Like I'm working with artists again. I gotta remember that.
Yeah, for sure. And they very, very sensitive. You tell them they late, like, what you mean I was late? Ooh, yeah. You know how it goes.
Yeah,
I'm an artist. I am the guy. Sometimes I am that guy, so I get it.
but it's like at least tell me. God.
Yeah, yeah. It's all good. How are you?
I'm good. Oh, well, we should just start actually. I'm gonna
I'm
record
with
the
it.
rest and it's very like open format. I just want to like put out there like artists. It's like podcast type style interview, like just
I'm
conversation.
with it.
So introduce yourself as an artist.
So I am Nextgang Fleezy from Austin, Texas. You can just call me Fleezy for short. Born and raised in Austin, Texas. Been here pretty much all my life. Left a couple times to sprinkle my soul somewhere else, but I always ended up back here. I'm a part of the collective with Team Next. Well, that's where I come from, where I get my start from. And I'm here now, just carrying the torch.
Nice. So why do I feel like I know what Team Next is?
Because you probably do.
I'm like, because I
You
like,
probably do.
when did y'all start music?
Oh man, I what was that like? I was in middle school, so that was what I was like 14. This was my seventh grade year. I think my guys was like freshmen in high school, something like that. Because by the time my freshman year came, they were seniors, and I was locked in already. So like I got all the seniorities of my guys when I touched down in high school type thing. So yeah, it's been a long time, and everybody in the group is still making music. So that's well over 15 years worth of just literally being in a creative space.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I think I know it because I'm also from the Austin area, but like I would stay with my grandma on the east side, like on summers.
Oh yeah,
I feel like that is probably where it's like ringing in, like going to those
we
events.
were we was everywhere. If we being real, like every single school, like South, North, like we got banned for like most high schools in our era couldn't wear the colors purple and turquoise because
Yeah,
like
I do know you. Purple and turquoise.
yeah, yeah. That's gonna give it away
I
every time.
remember.
It's the
Yeah,
purple and the turquoise.
I
It's gonna
remember
give it
that.
away every time.
I
Yeah.
remembered like this was like super days where it was like internet was really like we're just really hopping
It
on.
was the best times of the internet. Like people today don't know what the internet was like when we was actually coming up. Like the internet was so fire. You could actually reach out to people and they will reach back out to you. You know what I mean?
Good.
It's
Yeah.
not people being Hollywood and shit like that.
Yeah.
I had a real following at a young age too, but just based off of the internet itself. Just now these days that shit is just like a gimmick almost.
Right. And it's cool too that you did it at a young age because like it gave you sort of like knowledge on stuff like before things
Mhm.
are happening because
I
now
agree.
there's so much that like navigating I feel like is probably just crazy.
Yeah, but not really. I think as I've gotten older, I've learned to simplify more. I feel like it was a lot more moving pieces as a younger guy. Yeah, I think I had more energy when I was younger to do it, but it was a lot more moving pieces. So I had the energy to take care of those pieces. Now it's kind of more of a simplistic process. And I think I kind of enjoy creating in this space more than I did when I was younger, just because like I'm the youngest of all my guys, if we being real. Like I am the baby. And so I come up under their tutelage. And it's just like at a certain point, you gotta have your time to shine. And I feel like the course is it's run its course and now it's my time to actually carry the torch. So and
Ah,
I get to do it my way. That's another thing. Like I feel like a lot of people would know Team Next or know the group, but they don't necessarily know me specifically because again, I'm the baby. I am outside, but I ain't really outside like that, like that.
Yeah.
Like my dad not finna let certain shit go on because I'm still a kid, you know, like these guys are 18 and you know what I mean? My dad's not going for certain shit. So I just wasn't able to do that. But me still having that I would say that upbringing or that those roots and then also being able to bring my own personal flavor to what it is that I was brought up under, I think it's gonna be a good revamp for everything, not just myself, but for people around me, just the city in general. Because I'm not doing this shit for me. I'm really doing it for the city, and I'm doing it for the people that I fuck with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a pretty big circle. I like to say, I like people like say, "Oh, my circle's small," woo, woo, but like I fuck with people. You know, I fuck with motherfuckers. You know, you got to, because if you
Yeah.
don't, then
Yeah.
bro, nobody fucks with you. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's a two-way street. You know, like people like to fake and act like even if we not just best friends every day, none of that. But I'm gonna support. You know,
That's
like
good.
you say you from Austin, or I didn't heard of you from somebody, or we mix and mingles in certain crowds. I may not even talk to you directly, but I'm still gonna support you because you may be supporting some people that I support or whatever, and vice versa. So like, I just feel like that's how it's supposed to start, and hopefully we can keep this shit going as a city and
Yeah.
as it grows.
I think so too. Like I've been talking to people today, all from Austin, and I'm just like, I just truly feel like it's time for like these artists to just like be out there more. It just doesn't make any sense. Like we have our own uniqueness about us
Yeah,
that when I travel other places, it's just not like that. I'm not saying like it needs to be like that. I just feel like there's a unique sound within just Austin people that it can be highlighted. And like a lot of like even just like the black artists here are very like they're not set on one type of sound, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, they're more open to like doing different things and some are more spiritual or like aloof and some want to be more like have hardcore rap or something. So I feel like there's variety here because like Austin didn't I personally in my experience I feel like Austin didn't make everyone like act one way of existence. Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
like when I went to New York, I met someone who was like, "Your humor is just so weird," and I was like, "I think it's because I was around just like different people,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I wasn't
True.
forced to like limit myself."
That's why people love Austin so much, because it really is kind of a culture shock when they say like all these other cities and states and shit hey, adopted make whatever weird, but like we was weird before all of that shit because we
Yeah,
had a whole bunch of like all of the shit that you see going on today from like even having like we had a I don't know if you remember, but we had a guy run for a seat at the Senate or something like that. His name was Leslie. He was a trans man or trans woman, and like he used to be on Congress all the time with a fucking flag wrapped around him and some draws, like real life draw. Like we see this shit. This is
he's
common. You gonna
cool.
ride down Congress, you gonna see Leslie. You know what I'm saying? You just know those type of things. Like it's just certain things that I feel like being from Austin, you get exposed to so early that in our development, it's just kind of like, oh, that's normal for us. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you do that? Oh, we do too. But it maybe not to the extreme that you do it, but we do that too. You know what I'm saying? Or we done seen
Yeah,
that before too. You know, like even with like for instance, like what I see, especially in like the black community right now, mainly what I've been seeing for the last like 4 or 5 years is just like hella violence and hella just, you know what I mean? And Austin ain't no super violent city. Now, mind you, my niggas, and we did grow up fighting niggas, but like we wasn't killing and doing all that other shit and
yeah,
just promoting. Like we was never really just out promoting it. Like it was just on some, if that's what it was gonna be, then that's what it was gonna be type thing. And like what I'm seeing now is like our city is starting to come into more of an identity. Like the people who would be associated with shit like that, you can receive that from, but it ain't on some like where people faking it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's enough room for everybody to do what they do. Like you don't have to be the gangster, you don't have to be the prep guy, you don't have to be the pop guy. You know what I'm saying? You can be whoever it is, like whatever little lane you choose to be in. I just feel like being from Austin, that gives us the biggest advantage. You know what I'm saying? Because we super eclectic. We grew up dancing and skating and doing all kind. You know what I mean? We literally used to have dance routines. Like like Chris Brown in Stomp the Yard type shit, but
Yeah.
early days. So it's just like, we've been exposed to another level of things that I feel like other states, other cities, even in our own state, can't relate to. Because I done seen people come from Houston and Dallas, and they like, bro, it's sweet out here. Ooh, it's like, no, it's just different. Yeah, it's just not like you don't have to be on guard 24/7 because ain't nobody looking to bother you for real. They really just out
Yeah,
here chilling. You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
It's just the energy has always been different. So yeah, I agree. We got a lot to offer right now. And
Yeah.
what I think the only thing is just really camaraderie. I've been preaching that amongst my people, but the people that I fuck with, but really amongst the city, that's what it got to be. Even if you don't fuck with somebody personally, you need to be able to just support them, because your support is gonna mean them supporting you regardless of what. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
just showing up and being there means more than a retweet or a follow or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that physically getting out to support your fellow artists or whatever it is that they got going on, so that we can also rebuild our city as far as the platforms to get those off, because we don't have many platforms that's doing that right now. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
only a few people still throwing shows. You got the smoke out. That's basically the only thing going. If we being
Yeah.
real, it is the
Hella
only
people were
thing
talking
that's
to me about
bringing
this.
some type of show atmosphere or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And outside of that, you really can't say nobody else is doing nothing show related,
Yeah,
if we, on some just
definitely.
for the artists. But I personally plan on doing something different to contribute to that, because like I said, it's more about just the camaraderie and us being in them same spaces. Like, we don't necessarily have to be supporting each other by going to show either, but if you
Yeah.
show up to the same function that I'm at, and this function is an opportunity for us to network, and you network with somebody I might have brought, and vice versa,
Yeah.
now we just bringing the city together. And plus, we got so many people that come from out of town that just love being here and are here, and we don't even know they're here.
Yeah.
It's like, it'll give them something to have to fuck with. Cause right now they're not coming because they don't got shit to fuck with. Like, who are
Yeah.
they gonna fuck with?
Yeah.
Who?
They need to know. They need to know.
Yeah.
Like
Just no
how are
awareness.
people gonna know if it's not being put out there? So everything you're saying, I totally agree with. Because even like me, I can be introverted, so I might not like go to things because I'll be like, oh, but I
Yeah.
try to in a different way. So it's like and it doesn't even necessarily have to be like in one way of existence. A follow is good, like watching someone's YouTube video. Like there's so many ways
Yeah.
we can support each other. And I think it's cool too, like you said, with the platforms, like the fact that there is a platform that is doing shows is so good. And it's like it doesn't even have to be a show, like the photographers, like making sure the photographers are like getting followers and supporting them, the videographers are getting followers, supporting them, because they're the ones that are building the artists.
Yeah.
Sure,
Facts.
it doesn't even like they don't even have to just work with artists, like just supporting them so they can book a wedding show or book whatever, so that
Mhm.
they just have money in their pockets to keep going. So I think it's really good that you're already on that mind frame of like knowing that our future is like really directed by us all collaborating. And I think it's also good that like you're seeing how 2023 is going to move and push forward, because I feel like with this pandemic, like of course we're in inflation and recession right now, but I truly believe 2023 is going to be so good for artists. Like when I'm online,
Yeah.
I see so many people like just preparing to like perform or like drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, like hella people
I'm
are.
just dropping. I took a long time off of dropping because, like, I just allowed myself to like not be in that space. But I was doing a lot of creating, not dropping. But I would throw little things out here and there, but it just never felt like it was time. And like right now, I feel like time more than any time, just because like we 3 years removed from pandemic, and like the pandemic, I feel like the pandemic was the best thing to happen to us, because we everybody needed to sit the fuck down, because there was just a lot of shit going on. You know what I mean? And like now we can really start seeing shit for what it is. Like, and I feel like I feel like before pandemic, it was a lot of just like fake love, fake fuck with you. Oh, I see you on the scene, but it's really just because of force of habit, because we in proximity of each other, and it's not real support or whatever.
Mhm.
When pandemic hit, it's like, hey, this shit life or death for everybody. Like, that
Yeah,
don't just mean me. Like I'm not the only one affected by what's going on. So now we can look at each other from a different standpoint of not feeling like some people still feel like it. They better than the next man or whatever, or they I'm the only one going through what I'm going through. But like as artists, nigga, we were all affected. Everybody stopped doing shows. Everything slowed up. We couldn't get in the studios like that. If you didn't have a home studio, your production slowed up. Videographers wasn't outside, that type of thing. And then everybody had to completely rebuild themselves. So all the links is separated. The main thing, and you when we talk about Austin, we ain't never had the links connected. You know what I mean? Like everything has always been in a separate way. So like now more than ever is the time to just string that shit together. Like, oh, they fucking around over here. They got this going on over here. Let's try to marry the two and make everything in the middle.
Exactly.
Because if you look at our scene, we all fuck around in the same places,
Yeah,
regardless of whether we want to admit it or not. Like I got friends that I kid you not, you probably have friends who know people that I grew up with since childhood or
of
some
course.
shit, and vice versa. Like
Or
real talk,
cousins. Like I'm sure I have
and
cousins.
right, and it's just like that's just Austin. That's always been Austin. So like the biggest thing for us to stand on is that, and like not letting petty shit be the division. You know, like there is no reason to divide at this point, especially when we got so many people that don't like the texture of our city is not our city no more.
Yeah.
Truly, it's everybody else's shit now. You know, so like
Yeah.
for the one that's like anytime you ever tell somebody you're from Austin, like, oh, you're a unicorn or you're rare, yeah, they need to pay me for that. Because nigga,
Yeah.
y'all out here stealing our shit.
Yeah.
We've been doing this. You
Yeah.
know, so it's just one of those things where you gotta really just start. We as a collective need to just set our foot down in the sand, like, hey, we from here, we've been here, we paved the way for the shit that y'all doing right now. Regardless of whether y'all like doing it, whatever, you still gotta pay homage to the people who were here before because
Yeah.
y'all coming from out of town eating off us and ain't giving shit back, you know?
Exactly. I what you're saying resonates with me too, like because I went to New York for about 8 months
Mm-hmm.
and I naturally just gravitated towards their art scene. It just clicked. Like I went more so for like a coordinating role to learn more about marketing. And then I got
Mm-hmm.
into modeling out there. And like seeing how they work together, I could do nothing but respect it because they
Mm-hmm.
actually like shut down New York. So when I was working as a marketing coordinator, like my boss was like, I haven't been to a concert in 2+ years when we went to our first concert. And that also
Mm-hmm.
made me respect Austin even more for the fact that there were shows within
And
that.
we were still outside.
We
I'm talking
were,
about
and they weren't
outside.
at all. And that honestly gave like the South time to develop to like even keep up with some
Mm-hmm.
like not even just in music, just like to me in business,
Culturally.
everything, it allowed us to like really like sort of it can't be compared because it's just two different environments, of course, two different energies. You can't really compare
Mm-hmm.
that, but like I think it really like you can see the difference. And like out there they really do support each other, and I was just, like
Mm-hmm.
it was so inspiring. Like I was like, oh yeah, when I get back I need to like really like my free time needs to be invested in things I'm passionate about as much as I can, like
Mm-hmm.
because they just don't sleep. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like it just makes sense. Like they're never in their apartment, so it's like
Mm-hmm.
let's just go outside and create. And I'm like realizing the fact that when people do stuff like that's such a huge thing in Austin. Like I think people forget that what they're doing by just going out in places like that, they should respect themselves and value themselves for the fact that they're doing that too,
Mm-hmm.
because it is a big thing. You're taking your free time to put yourself out there and your passion, and you're also helping other people. So I think I learned, like in this pandemic, I really learned the value of others being there,
Mm-hmm.
like not even
True.
just music, but like friendship, anything like community. I really like the value of it is so much bigger than people realize. Like
Mm-hmm.
showing up to stuff is a huge thing. So I think it's the thing we all learned. Well, a lot of people learned. So I think going forward, I'm really excited to see like what comes out of Austin and Texas in general, because people are really
Yeah.
linking up and doing some stuff.
Yeah. Texas, I think we always been different. I don't think we ever got our just due as far as what what
Yeah.
we really deserve, but we really got some of the best talent that come out of here. We are on everything. And then when you get down to when you break it down even finer, each city is its own culture type thing. You know what I mean? So it's like it's just so many layers to what we do. That's why it's good to start with the camaraderie in city, and then we can start building with our next regions type thing. You know what I mean? Because that's really how it works. Whenever we able to intertwine those things, it's like it's an unstoppable thing. That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm not like doing a whole lot of rapping no more because most people know me for rapping and doing that type of shit. I'm not doing no more of that unless I just really feel like, ooh, I'm compelled. But
Okay. What
I'm
are you
only doing R&B,
into now?
only R&B. That's it.
Okay.
R&B, mood music. I'm an
Okay.
artist though, you know, like so I can do anything if I'm being honest. But where I'm at right now in my artist journey is just really being an R&B artist because I never took that seriously of
Are
all
you
things that I've
singing?
done. Huh?
Are you singing or like what type of R&B is it? Because
No,
there's
I'm like singing. Like I'm going like singing. I feel like
nice.
if people go back and listen to my old music, I've always dropped hints that I can actually sing.
Okay.
But never really like seriously sung like that, you know, because I was just like, you know, I'm rapper, like, you know, I'm
Yeah.
Fleas, you know, that type of thing. But I've always in hooks, I might just drop in a random song. Like even in my last project, I put out Lost in Traffic, catching plays randomly just in the verse. I just bust out in a whole like, you know, like you see that type shit. I shouldn't even this is a rap song, you know, but like it's on some like I don't know, I already showed them what I can do lyrically. And my pen, I've been writing like I write for therapy. So like
Mm,
writing is not necessarily a hard thing for me to do, but it's just time consuming. That's the only thing. So like I tend to instead of making an R&B song, it's easier for me to just be like, rap it out real quick
mm,
instead of just slowing it down and being precise and all the other stuff. But since I've been having time to just slow everything down, my life is kind of slowing down a little bit. I feel like, hey, you know, let me just be the R&B artist for a while. We ain't got enough of those. We ain't got enough of them like me. I believe I don't think there's none like me because
good.
I really can relate to all sides of it, you know. And
Good.
I'm a lover boy at heart, so why not?
That's good. Like the fact that you're like going a different route is so much fun. And it's funny because like you said, the pandemic sat everyone down. So the pandemic
Mhm.
probably like is that when you were like, okay, I think it's time to do this?
No,
You've been thinking
I
about
was
it for a
still
while.
on. I was still really on my rap shit for
Uh,
real. Like I've been. My vault is so mixed. Like I have a vault with like this amount of tracks full of rap tracks, and then I got this amount of tracks of just like real R&B music. And I battle with myself, like listening to the music because it's really good, and it's not me toot my own horn. Like it's like I can do either one, and I cannot choose which one I want to actually take seriously because I've
hmm.
been doing the rap shit all my life. But the singing shit, anytime I've ever did it and like did it seriously or just, you know, people like, damn, why you don't ever sing? Like, why you leave that hanging? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's like, even my dad, my mom that said this shit to me. So it's
that's
like, all
good.
right, I guess I should try to give it a real go, you know, because if I don't, then I feel like I would be doing myself a service because I took
Yeah.
time from being a rapper to become a producer and I learned how to engineer myself. I learned
Oh,
how to do a
nice.
whole lot of other stuff. So it's just like, all of this is going to help me to just be a better artist
Oh,
anyway.
for
And
sure.
with the singing, I just need to fit. What I want to find is somebody like a vocal coach or something. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that can just help me with my, because I can hear the music, but
Mhm.
my arrangement is what I want to work on the most. Because I can I can write good songs. Melody is fine, but I want to start arranging songs in such a way where it's like, but that, you know, with time, that's my personal, you
Yeah.
know, with time, the first little, you know, first run of this thing, I think is gonna be fun for me because I just never did it this way. So it's just like,
That's
oh,
cool.
you
And
know,
you know
let's see what
what?
y'all think about it.
You should hit up someone in a choir to teach you that. Like, because
I
they're
used to sing
so
in the
good.
choir. That's what I'm saying. It's like I used to sing in the choir, so I have the concept of it, but it's just I haven't practiced anything vocal wise besides me just singing some shit that I like to sing or something like that.
Natural.
That is, yeah, it's like when you think about singing, most people don't take into account that shit is really instrument.
Yeah.
You have to tune it. You have to know. what the ranges it can go
Yeah.
to, all of that type of stuff. Like if you're not in tune with that, you're not really singing, you know, like you just getting carried by a beat or auto tune or whatever. Like I might put auto tune on my song, but that's just because sometimes I just want to put auto tune on there. It's not because I wasn't like if you take the auto tune off, each note is
It's
still
hidden.
getting hit regardless, you
Yeah.
know, like so me knowing that and understanding that it's like, okay, I feel like I can take this route. This would be a better route for me anyway. You know what I
That's
mean? It's
good.
not the rah rah shit. I don't want to be on no. I feel like rap music make you want to fight and shit now. I don't want to
Mhm.
fight no more. I'm
Yeah,
actually
like that
good on that.
is like a develop that is I can see that. Like how you're like because once you're I don't know, I still have energy, but it's probably
Yeah,
because
I do too.
but it's like I understand the melodic feel of just like being and I just feel like what you said earlier about like how we're eccentric. I think that's the word you
Hmm.
use for us.
That's what it is.
Like that
Exactly.
is like a
Eclectic, eccentric,
yeah.
all the E's.
I never thought of that. Eclectic is a really good word for it. Like I think you can like R&B right now is so like vast that like bringing that idea would be really beautiful because you know like there's I don't know if you know of like used tumor there's they're so good and they have like a rock R&B sound. People would just say it's
Are they
alternative.
from Austin?
No, it's just like some like
Oh,
rock like I don't even know. It's just, who's another one maybe. Do you know do you know FK Twigs?
yeah, I heard of them, but I haven't never really like nobody has ever said, "Hey, go listen to this by FK Twigs," and I'll
Yeah.
be like, "Okay, let me," because that's how I consume music. I don't really just like,
Mhm.
"Oh, let me look at the name. Let's just go listen." I need somebody to give me a good reference
Okay,
point, and
okay.
then I'll venture out from the reference points.
Yeah. I'm that person that's like, listen to this. And I think there's a lot of like cool alternative R&B sounds that I just feel like you're getting into a lane where you can do so much, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't want to box myself
Don't.
in the Austin market as far as like when I say R&B, like I want to have bands and shit sometimes. Sometimes I just want to have a pianist and just me and the piano or me and the bass guitar. You know what I mean? Like just small little things but I just want to keep it intimate though. I'm not trying to go super big. That's the only thing. My only drawback, it may go big and I'm not opposed to it, but I
Yeah.
don't want it to go big. I just want to keep it 50 or
Yeah.
less. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? A little
It's a
50 or
cool
less
idea
crowd.
though. Like it's the fact that you're thinking like that's really nice.
Yeah, yeah, that's I feel like that's the best route for me because I also have like anxiety. I get nervous when
Mhm.
I perform as well. So like I don't want like I know what it feel like to be in front
Wait,
of
but
hundreds of
you've been
people and perform.
performing since you were young. So how do you
I know, but it never goes away. That's what they never tell you. Like it never goes away. It's always gonna be there. And then I haven't done it in more than 5 years. I haven't performed in so long. I haven't performed since my early 20s.
Mhm.
I'm 30 now. There's no
So
way I'm
you're
like,
listening.
all right, I gotta get back in the way of things. And I'm doing it different. Last time I was really rapping, I gotta come with the energy. This time I'm coming with the vibes. So
Oh,
it's like you
that makes
gotta create the full experience for the vibe. You know what I mean? You
yeah.
can't just I could slack and just be walking around bouncing to the music if I'm really not, like
That is so
you
funny.
got
I never thought of it like that. I guess it is a whole different type of because if I'm doing a photo shoot, I feel pretty comfortable. I don't like get nervous at all. But when I did runway, I was like, this is so
mhm.
different. There's so many people here. So
And
it's
people looking at you and stuff. It's like
yeah,
I'm
every
looking at the
second.
whites of y'all's eyes. I don't want
Yeah.
to look at y'all.
It's that's why it's cool to create an alter ego. So
Yeah,
yeah, create
that's who Fleezy is.
yeah.
Fleezy
So
is
just
my
step
alter
into
ego.
yeah,
I
like
got several alter egos though. I done been through a lot of transitions. A lot of people know me as Man Flow. That's the original. And then I graduated to Fleezy because I started making beats. And
oh,
Kanye has always been my biggest inspiration in the
oh,
world since I was a kid. So like, and I think I didn't coin myself that. My partners gave me that. They was
oh,
like, "Nah, bro, cause you really be on your, you know what I'm saying, you on your Fleezy." And I'm like, "All
yeah,
right, bet, say less. That's
that's
me."
cool.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We just shortened it. I'm different variations of that. From that point, it's like I don't know if you've been keeping up with the MCU, but the what you call it, Kang, that boy got hella variations.
Yeah,
That's me.
it is.
I got several different variations, and after I'm done with the R&B shit, I probably won't pick it up again. I'm just gonna let it be whatever it is, and I'll mix that in with some other stuff. I might start doing spoken word or something
Yeah, spoken word I think is
random.
so much fun. Like I actually went to spoken word like contest. That was
Mhm.
years ago, but like, oh my God, me and all my friends just cried. Like, because it's so
You want to be
impactful.
sad? That's where to go. They gonna
Yeah,
hit you
that
right
was
in
so
the heart.
impactful. Ah, damn.
Every time, like somebody got to bring back like the deaf poetry and shit. Like
Oh
that shit
yeah.
that was the shit. That was the vibes. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
I think I could hop on that. I would do a slam poetry. I can do slam poetry. I'm really
that
I
might
that.
we might be up to something. We cooking right now. Might
Yeah,
need to figure out how we can get some slam poetry or something going on. A little neo soul
I'd
vibes.
be nervous though, that's for sure. I would like whenever I did poetry for like my pageant at UT, like oh my God. Like it took we practiced for 2 months for the entire pageant and like if they brought even a new person in the room, I was crying. Like it was just too much. Like I was so anxious, but I they helped me push through my anxiety of like social anxiety and talking to people and
Mhm.
vulnerability and sharing. So like it was worth it. And I think slam poetry is cool as hell. So
Somebody
definitely
told me earlier I'm social like that, and I was like, I'm really not social. I'm very introverted, but I know how to speak when it's time to speak to people. Like that's it.
yep,
Because
that's me.
I will be in a room full of people. If we get more than I'm in a room with more than 20 people, I'm not talking. I'm gonna just be looking around at everybody like unless somebody walks up to me, and that's usually how it goes though. Since I don't do a lot of talking, they'll be like, "Hey, so what do you do? Or who are you?" And it's like, because you didn't just walk up to everybody else. You were the only one sitting around acting like you didn't know who nobody was. Like, yeah, because I eventually who was supposed to come talk to me is gonna come talk to me, but I'm not about to go out of my way because
And some
I'm here.
a lot of artists can be like that. Like, and people will get confused and think like, "Aren't you a performer? Aren't you like what are you scared of?" But I feel like I meet so many shy artists, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
"What?"
it's always a small level of being shy because you just it's not natural for people to be like a lot of people to gravitate towards you in a
Mm,
certain way. Most people are able to just blend in with the crowd, and the ones who stand out really stand out. And it's just that's why I make it a point not to try to stand out because I don't have to. Whenever I'm standing there, usually the energy starts to swirl around me, and then I'll turn up based off of that type thing.
yeah.
But like for the most part, people don't really get to experience that and they chase it as opposed to allowing it to come naturally. So it's just like, yeah, you would think. And then you playing with some people play with their own mind, thinking that people are like they are more than that, and you really not. Like, oh, they're looking at me like,
Oh,
no, they're not, bro. No, they're not.
the
You're
anxiety.
good.
Yeah, the anxiety is just ridiculous. I feel
Mm.
that like I feel like I naturally can sometimes draw attention and that like freaked me out. Like I freak out. But like I'm also the type of friend where people will think I'm just around people all the time and it's like no, I actually will be home alone. I can go
Oh,
week by myself and then I'll go do some stuff and then I'm like I need to recharge.
social media,
Yeah.
especially these days, social media is low. There's a lot of stuff going on. We
Yeah.
are exhausted as a
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, we are.
Facts.
I think we're super
Facts.
close as to people, but like luckily, I just feel like the summer is gonna be a good summer. And I just feel
Mhm.
like we're all gonna do what we gotta do. I don't know if I'm gonna end up staying in Austin this summer or go back to New York, but I just know I'm
Hey,
gonna
you could do it in why summer, man. Hey, do it.
go there.
Why
Okay,
not?
yeah.
Why not, man? It's the city. We always here. You know what I'm saying?
You're
This
right.
shit ain't
You're
going
right.
nowhere. But
You're
me, I'm gonna be here. I ain't gonna
right.
lie. I gotta do what I gotta do. It's a lot to be done, type thing. And I really feel like I'm about to start laying the foundation, especially for like I was telling you with the R&B shit. So it's time for that. I'm about to turn into an event planner slash
Nice.
R&B artist. We finna be outside this summer
Good.
for sure. Big
Good.
water activity.
Yeah. It's cool because some of the other people I interviewed, they were talking about the same thing of like wearing multiple hats and how they want to come together with people with those multiple hats. And I was
Yeah.
like, it's actually perfect because you not just coming up as an artist. Like one person is a DJ that also worked security, so he was all like,
Yeah,
I worked doing the most, and so like to me, I feel like it gives me an advantage if I do an event. Like I can be like, I can also do this. You know what I mean?
yep.
So
Have
like,
my security firm that's gonna handle the door. I
yeah,
ain't gotta
right.
worry about it. All right, yeah, that's facts. That's
So
fine. That's
smart.
fine.
It's smart
Yeah,
to
that's what's up.
wear those hats. And like some people will always tell people, oh no, stick to one thing. And it's like, I don't think anyone should stick to one thing in life. I think everyone should
Never.
do everything that they possibly can at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, if you're not doing everything, then you're not doing anything.
Yeah. And you can like
That's
learn
the
from the
quote.
other things. You know what I mean? Like the fact that if you do event coordination, what if your future child wants to do that? And then he's set for life because you already picked up pieces from doing that. Like some
What's
people don't.
funny is that's my upbringing lightweight. Like my dad used to do stuff like that. So like I really
Oh,
it's already a lot of this stuff has already been foundation for what I'm doing has already kind of been laid. I just didn't tap into it because I was too busy growing up. You know what I mean? Like now that I'm a grown up and I understand the way life works and shit, it's like, oh, all those things that I saw, I can actually start putting into play and do it with confidence because I've seen it done,
yeah.
regardless of what the time frame was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I'm
yeah.
interviewing this girl who in London, and her dad was in the industry, jazz player, and she was all like,
Mm,
I do something completely different, but he helps me navigate through that, through my experiences, because the
mm,
fact he just did music in general. And I'm like,
yeah.
see, this is why it's good. It's cool because it's like genetics versus like environment. Like I feel like
Mm,
there's an artist gene. I swear there is. I
yeah.
feel it, because there will be so many people be like, oh, my dad was a rapper too, or even though he was underground or something. And then
Hmm.
it's also like environmental, like you're hearing music around your house. You're like, it just naturally is going into your brain without your subconscious without you realizing it.
Yeah, true. Sound is the is like the strongest form of influence, you know? And most people don't even understand that. Like you do go off of what you see, but a lot of what you hear plays a big part too. You know what I'm saying? Like in a lot of the music, especially sonically, like that we grew up. I know what I grew up on. I
Mhm.
was on all early hip hop and like real hip hop, like New York type hip hop, and then the South and all. Like, so I got a real full scope of like music, and then not just hip hop, but like R&B, like real R&B head. So it's just like, this is nothing. This game is gonna be crazy as far if it ever makes a switch to where like I think Drake is the only person who has done the like I'm the singer guy, I'm the rapper guy, but they take him seriously as the rapper. Like his pen is lethal, but if he wanted to croon, he could croon away. Like I'm
Yeah.
not crooning, I'm actually gonna sing. My nigga get on that bitch and be like, me. It be in your chest though. Like who wrote that, bro? Who wrote that? That's what I want to be. You
Well, we
know?
have a minute left, so if you want to say anything else before this ends, go ahead.
Yeah. Just follow me on all social medias at NEXTGANGFLEEZY. I know it's a little long, but you know, it's like a little
Put
jingle.
it in whatever I post too.
Yeah, 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 for sure. But yeah, that's it. You know, I got a track dropping March 3rd on Wine featuring AJ Bray. Download it, pre-save it. It'll be out soon. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for having me as well. I
Yes,
appreciate
thank
you.
you for like joining the project without even knowing if I can excel it or not. So like that, I really do appreciate that. Like
Hey
I
man,
posted
like I
anything.
told you,
It's really
blind support. I'm supporting everybody. We rocking. Who knows
yeah.
where it'll go? You know what I'm saying?
I
Because who
know you
knows
never
where I'll be at?
know. Who knows? Maybe in 10 years this will be like what if you who knows? They'll be like, I remember that interview. So there we go.
We'll have bigger and better for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll see you later.
All
Bye.
right, talk to you later.